Hi, I'm Derek Jackson. I'm a marketing analyst at Guardify. Today I'll be covering the health records section of Guardify CAC. Starting off, we have the My Records tab where you can see all of your records. And if you want to create one, you just click this button over here and you will see the service provider. This is just what it automatically puts it as. And you can also put, if it's a nurse or a counselor, etc., you can fix that. You can put the incident date, the CAC, case ID, valuation observers, that type of thing at the top, and then patient demographics, name, that sort of thing. Let's just say it's a random last name for now. Make sure you have all your information when you actually do it, but for now, this is just the required things. And then if you want to, you can add a file to the right over here. Then you hit create. From there, you can see your files. Currently, there's none added, but if you want to, you can add one, and you can also create a folder, which is very helpful. Say it's just for this certain file, and maybe you have certain photos from it, and maybe you want to create a folder for it. So you can create Susie Banks photos. You can add a file for it, and that'll just be, for example, we're using Susie Banks as like the patient, so you can do what you want with the files, whether you want to name it after the patient and like do certain things with it, depending on if you're a social worker, that sort of thing. On the far right, you see the history. You can see when the health record was created. You can see when you share it usually and access dates. That'll also show up in the share history if you shared it, and then downloads if there's download history between you or someone else. On the far right, there's also this notes tab. I want to keep in mind, like if you have any notes that you need to take, it's very useful to see these and they don't go away, they save. There's also this messages feature where you can chat between you or anybody between your CAC colleagues, that sort of thing, or anybody in another CAC center, that sort of thing. Or if you need to reach out to someone that is involved with the file, that sort of thing. And there's also these requests, and say Tim Smith needed to request a certain access for this interview, he can give you it, and it can show you the certain victim, it can show you the interview date, incident date, that sort of thing. And you can approve or deny it depending on if you want or need to. You can hit this back arrow, and this will take you back to obviously all of these records. And you can also filter them through the calendar, through lists, that sort of thing. Calendar would really help because you could see how many you have per day. That would be very useful if you're trying to see how many you had. And if you remember the date, that would be very helpful. We'll move on to the CAC records after I reset the view to grid. CAC records, these are any across your CAC in particular. For example, right now we have LeBron James and Harrison Barnes, that sort of thing, like these made up ones, but you would obviously have the real ones. And you can create another one if needed over here, and it'll still pop up with the same sort of thing. This is very useful at the top to sort by evaluation day because you can do it by case ID, patient name, that sort of thing, especially if you're trying to find one of yours. It's very useful. But you can obviously do that in My Records and still use this filter feature as well, both that and this evaluation date, case ID, that sort of thing. But this filter thing is also here where you can see if for the defense, if it's shared, opened, expiring, that sort of thing, and if it's active or archived. And then you can clear the filter if you need to. Lastly, there's the shared with me. You can see any files that are shared with you. If you need to access them, update them, that sort of thing, it'll appear right here. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It has the view and the search button. Same features on the right that most of these do. And yeah, that is the health records feature of Guardify CAC. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions at all, make sure to reach out to the Help Support Center on the Guardify website. And yeah, have a good one.